Alright, so this is the first episode of Beatcast, so I'm going to give you a quick summary of what this show is about. It's urban music related with a slight emphasis on Canadian hip-hop. I'm going to get this out of the way. I don't know what a Beatcast is. I thought it just sounded cool. It's something like a mix between a newscast and beats, because, you know, rap and beats, and don't give me a hard time about it. I'll be releasing the show every Wednesday to help you get through that nice hump day. The show pretty much covers all the stuff that I'm heavy into, rap battles, photography, videography, video editing, all sorts of stuff. It's not to say that I won't get actual news involved in it, but it's more likely you're going to hear a lot of music talk. Just getting that out of the way. I'm going to do my best to keep my videos under 10 minutes, because if you stare at this for too long, man, you're probably going to go blind. Now, I do upload other content to my channel, but this show in particular is going to be limited to the things that I mentioned I'll be talking about. If you wanted to see some of my beats, you know, watch a music video, I've got tons of stuff up on the channel. You can click on the annotation right here. The entire show is produced and hosted by myself, but that's not to say that I won't have special guests later on down the line. Okay, now that that's all out of the way, let's get the show started. This weekend there was a King of the Dot event in Los Angeles, Battle of Los Angeles 5. Had a great lineup, great hype. I've heard nothing but great things about the battles that have taken place. Some people have been saying that these are some of the best battles. But unfortunately there was a slight hiccup in the event, as towards the end of the third round, Disaster hauled off and socked Math Hoffa in the face. Now Math Hoffa is not an innocent guy by any means. He's already sucker punched or hit or call it what you want two other rappers mid-battle, whether they had it coming or not. Hey, I'm not saying, but Math is notorious for trying to intimidate his opponents before matches, and he's been labeled a bit of a bully. Disaster himself is a very emotional guy, and a lot of people said that they saw this coming a mile away. Now I'm going to show you some of the footage so you get an idea. I'm not going to say who's right, who's wrong, who started it, whether, you know, I'm not going to voice my opinion about this. I'm just going to show the footage. You guys can determine what you want.
Don't have any relevance. Fucking waste of life. I should punch you in the fucking face right now. And there it is.
Now, Lush One in an interview already said that because of Disaster's actions, because he hit first, it is very likely that he is not going to be participating in any more King of the Dot events. Now, that being said, Disaster has probably already battled everybody. Disaster hit up Twitter shortly after and said that Math Hoffa had been chirping him a little bit these last couple years. I'm not saying that I condone this. I think that battle rap is a great way for people to settle beefs and scores without having to resort to physical violence. You both act like men, you get out there, you say your thing, you respect the person for showing up and doing their thing, and at the end of the battle, you guys shake hands, you go your separate ways, and your beef's settled. Yeah, but it didn't go exactly that way with this particular event. Now, I love both these battle rappers. Math Hoffa is a legend. He's been around forever, and Disaster is a crazy, high-energy rapper. I don't always love all the bars that he delivers, but the guy is entertaining. You cannot deny that. For my review today, I'm going to be taking a look at the Sony A6000. This is a great compact mirrorless camera, and I'm going to get this out of the way first. I am not going to talk about the autofocus. I've seen way too many YouTube reviews that they've done with this thing where they do nothing but talk about how great the autofocus is and all the auto features are. If you're into photography and you're any good at photography, you don't use the auto features. Don't spend 5 minutes talking about that. So it's good. I'll leave it at that. We're not going to get into it. This is a nice little camera. Startup time's fast. It rocks a 23 megapixel APS-C sensor. It takes great pictures. There's tons of creative style modes that you can use. Vivid, you can shoot flat if you want to do a lot of post-production, or if you want to give it a nice cinematic look. It shoots in 1080p at 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second, and 24 frames per second if you want that cinematic look. Fully adjustable features, max shutter speed of 4,000, But I'm gonna say that the one thing I don't like about the camera after I got it was not the camera itself, but rather the lens that it came with. This lens only has a 40.5 millimeter diameter for the glass, meaning you can't get a lot of light in there, and you're just not gonna get very good shots if you end up taking some shots in low light conditions. Get in there. I got it. Some more interesting things about this camera include the Wi-Fi connectability and NFC, which means that you can transfer your pictures from your camera to your phone within seconds. So this would be great for anybody who's doing live updates for social events or sporting events. You can actually hook this camera up to your Android phone and use it as a remote for the camera, or even as a live view display while you're taking videos. You can fit any E-mount lens onto this camera. There are a lot available, and you can use third-party lenses as well. There's no problem with that. You want to buy an adapter, you can fit Canon lenses on this, anything you want. It's got an electronic viewfinder, which a lot of people have been complaining about for some reason. To be honest, I've been using electronic viewfinder and I haven't had a single problem with it. One thing that I have noticed about the camera is after I've taken pictures and put them up on my computer, it seems that the pictures that I took are out of focus. When I use the magnification on here to make sure I was focused when I took the picture, but it still comes out soft. Another down point to this camera is that there's no audio jack. You've got an HDMI jack, a USB jack, you've got your tripod mount, your hot shoe mount on the top, which you can use for some of Sony's specialty microphones that they have. I don't know why they did that. And hopefully there's going to be an affordable adapter that's going to come out sometimes. Maybe you can get some nice XLR microphones to hook up with this thing, because it does take great video. I love the video that I took. I even used some of the shots that I took from this and put it into the music video that I finished recently. It's got tons of functions. It's got peaking, it's got zebras if you overexpose, it's got, oh man, just tons of features. The pop-up flash that it's got is movable, so you can bounce it off of walls, you can cover it up, do whatever you want. People talk about how great it is, and I gotta say, I love it too. It's a nice little flash. It's as powerful as you need. You can adjust the flash compensation on here. This thing can shoot in an amazing 11 frames per second, and it sounds like a machine gun going off when you shoot this thing. One of the awesome things about this is if you really put up the shutter speed on this thing, put it up to maybe 1,000, and you use the 11 frames per second shooting burst mode, you get crazy nice shots for sports. And for the last segment on the show today, I'm going to introduce you guys to a band that I've been a big fan of since I was in high school, Dead Celebrity Status. Their content is amazing. They've got some super controversial lyrics that are meant to really dig into your skin and almost make you feel a bit awkward when you listen to it, because it's just really controversial content. They got some lines like this. Listen to this.
Sublime, killer by design. The American dream is a rock we can't climb. We tore down the wall of Berlin in '89. Then Israel built it back up in Palestine.
And they've also got lines like this.
John Lennon dies, the world is stunned. What if Mark Chapman didn't shoot that gun? The same one who sang Give Peace a Chance was the same one who died from violent hands. So should we all take a silent stance, or are celebrities targets from irate fans?
But it's not all intellectual stuff. They've also just got some basic hype music as well, which is really awesome, because sometimes you just want to bang your head a little bit. So then they've got tracks like this.
So when I say DC, you say S. DCS, DCS. When I say DC, you say S. DCS, DCS.
So get out there and support Dead Celebrity Status. Okay, so that's it for the show today. We've got things wrapped up. So I'll see you next Wednesday. Until then, peace and be good to each other.